Hey everyone, it's Yuanji from the Runaways, and I'm here to show you guys my new build of Kayo, Armed and Dangerous. I've been playing Kayo since Heavy Hitters first released, and I took him to Pro Tour LA for a top 33 finish. Wah wah. Super Slam has brought a lot of interesting cards to update Kayo, and I think that we can improve quite a bit on the existing lists. So I've gone ahead and spent quite some time testing out all of the new cards, and I'm here to show you guys how I think the deck is best positioned. This deck list with sideboard guides is available to Gilded Tier subscribers on the Runaways Metafy, and I've also put together a more comprehensive guide which goes over the card choices in detail as well as a guide on the play patterns of the deck, matchups, and general tips to help you optimize your play with the deck. The link will be in the description below. So I just wanted to give a brief overview of the deck. Kayo is a mid-range hero who functions best as a tank buster, but decks that want to fatigue you by playing a variety of defensive cards aren't very effective just because you have so much deck damage in the deck overall. All of your attacks attack for 5 or 6, even your blues, some of them attack for 8. And you can put together some really strong turns as well. Although these decks aren't the majority of the metagame share currently, Kayo's hero power that raises all of the power of all of your attack action cards that you own outside of the combat chain helps you put together a quite optimized brute aggressive plan that the other brute heroes can't really take advantage of. So all of these cards that care about cards with 6 or more power, such as Bare Fangs or Random Draw discards, these cards have so much consistency in KO. For example, most of the time we're only going to be playing 5 cards out of 60 in our entire deck that do not satisfy this condition. The 2 cards that are my favorite right now to play are going to be Blood Rush Bellow, which has been a brute staple for a long time, and my new favorite card from Super Slam, which is Buckwild. So all of these cards that care about 6 or more power in zones, either discard or in your pitch zone or whatever, Chaos Hero Power just kind of enables all of that very well. Kayo also has the ability to put together some really powerful turns because he has very strong equipment. So the 2 equipment pieces that are going to be most useful for us on the aggressive end is going to be Savage Sash, which lets us play all attack action cards with 6 or more power for 1 less resource. And this applies to each one that we attack with. So again, making use of Kayo's hero power and interacting with the Savage Sash, as well as beaten trackers. When you discard a random 6 or more power, you may destroy this and you get an action point. So just, an action point on a stick is quite useful for KO. So Super Slam also increased the number of power cards that KO can draw every game. The ones that are standing out the most in terms of power level are going to be Show of Strength, which is another 2 for 8. So this is kind of like 3 more copies of Swing Big. And even though it gets -1 power for each card with 6 or more power defending it, most of the time people don't really want to be blocking you that much. Most cards in Flesh and Blood right now are much more useful on offense than on defense, as well as this card, Reckless Stampede. So while Show of Strength is really good when heroes don't want to be blocking you, this card's really good when heroes do want to be blocking you. And so every time someone defends a card on Reckless Stampede, so this counts for every card that's blocking, and equipment, defense reactions, just blocking cards, whatever it may be. You clash with the defending hero, and then the winner deals 1 damage to the other hero. So because of Chaos Hero Power, you're going to be winning or at least tying most of the clashes. So this is also like a super strong card. And so I think this deck is pretty strong. You have a pretty good matchup into a variety of decks. You just end up doing quite a lot of damage, and even the decks that might be a little bit worse matchups for various reasons, you always have the ability to kind of put together a really big turn to let you outdraw them, outdamage them, and put them on the back foot. So if you are interested in playing this deck for Pro Quests or for Armories or whatever, I encourage you guys to buy. I have a guide right now on Metafy that goes over like I said before, the more optimized play patterns for the deck, as well as a more in-depth discussion of why all the cards are in the deck, as well as how to play the various matchups with the deck. Buying the guide on Metafy helps support me and the rest of the Runaways put out more detailed strategy content for everyone. And that's enough yapping, so let's check out a game. Alright guys, so we are paired up into Iyslander, Constellar Intelligence. Usually, in most matchups, you're going to want to go first. The deck list that is available if you're subscribed to either Gilded or if you buy the guide has matchup buttons for a bunch of different matchups. We have one for Iyslander. And you guys might be wondering why I'm not playing any Arcane Barrier into Iyslander, and that's because we're just going to try to erase him. A little bit unlucky, we drew the Reckless Swing in our first hand, but I think that should be fine. We're going to be arsenaling Show of Strength, and unless, yeah, probably just going to be arsenaling Show of Strength. And this matchup, we're just going to be trying to race the Iyslander. Does that change anything? So we could send Bear Fangs if we wanted to use the beaten trackers. Alright, now that he's played 2 cards, I feel a little bit more inclined to try to do damage. And question is whether or not we want to use beaten trackers. I think it's okay not to activate it right now. Really, what we're trying to do is just punish our opponent for spending cards out of their hand. So not quite a full punish. They ended up going +2 health, but we got to make a might token as well. Okay, this hand is potentially really good. I'm gonna want to block with beam trackers because I want to start my turn with Savage Feast. And so we're not going to be able to block. That's okay. So I'm going to lead on a pulping. Hopefully we got to keep a blue. So unfortunately we discarded the blue. That would have been a little bit better. But this is still okay. Our opponent didn't really do that much damage to us. I took 5 damage last turn. And we're going to be sending 15 back. So pretty strong. If we had discarded the Swing Big instead of the Run Roughshod, then I would have also been able to get a Mandible Claw in there as well. This is still pretty good. This is a little bit less exciting. Our Iyslander opponent has been doing a whole lot of arcane damage to us. So we haven't gotten a chance to block. And so we have an option here. We can throw Swing Big, and the question is or we can throw a High Pitched Howl. There's, I think, some merits to both. Pair Limb lets us, no matter what, utilize our whole hand, most likely next turn. I think that I'm going to play the High Pitched Howl. And the reason for this is I'm going to probably be playing like 2 out of these 3 reds anyways. So I might as well play the one that gives me a resource on the next turn for now. And then on the follow-up turn, I'll be able to use swing big. And it's not like I really lose anything. I just get to cycle through my deck to try to find my power cards. So our opponent is doing a whole lot of blocking. So their hand's going to be Flittering Charge and Gone in a Flash. One of them has... Ooh, okay. So we found our power card, Bloodrush Bellow. We're going to be taking a bunch of damage right now. And we know our opponent's hand is just the Flittering Charge. So blocking with Fleshbag doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I'm going to block with Savage Slash and Beam Trackers. I'm likely going to be using these equipment on the next turn to generate a powerful turn. And I just want to block with my armor while I have a chance to. Against Acilio, because they take a lot of turns to only send arcane damage, you don't necessarily get a chance to block. So we have a Vigor token. I'm going to play Bloodrush Bellow, and then I'm going to activate Beam Trackers and get an extra action point. And let's see what we draw. Ooh. It's not the best. Ending on Smashing Ground is quite good, though. So, let's see if we need to pop Savage Slash. So this costs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would have to pay 5 resources to play for these 3, or I could pay 5 resources. Mandible Claw. Okay, so I am going to activate Savage Slash here, and I'm going to lead with this costs 1, and then my plan is to use the Gauntlets of Tyrannical Rex on the Smashing Ground at the end to pressure the Gone in a Flash in my opponent's arsenal. So we actually have also the option, we can pitch Mandible Claw, we can pitch to go Mandible Claw and to run Roughshod. This is going to come in for 8. And if they have a no block or a 2 block in their hand, if they have a 2 block, they can block 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. So they can block 8. Even if I throw the Smashing Ground, or I can throw 5 into 7, so I throw 12, they'd be at 12. I think because I'm losing only 5 damage, actually making the Acilio block is going to be quite a bit better. Especially if he is not able to, and then I can destroy his Gone in a Flash. Destroying the Gone in a Flash is going to significantly delay their combo potential. And he needs a 3 block and a 2 block in his hand. Alright, cool. Alright, we've drawn another Bloodrush Bellow. Nice. So our opponent hasn't really done much, so we're going to lead with Bloodrush Bellow. I want to try to keep the Smashing Ground, and it didn't happen, which is fine. And let's see what we can do. So we're going to throw our Mandible Claw for 5, and then depending on how the opponent blocks this, if the opponent is taking a lot of damage, then I'm going to want to throw Reckless Stampede. And since they're blocking, I'm going to be going for more damage on this turn. And I'm going to throw the Show of Strength. And I'm going to try to close the game out with the Reckless Stampede on the follow-up turn. Is this correct? Oh, okay. He has the sigil. Live at 3. Okay. I'm going to block Fleshback to kind of prevent any kind of combo ability. And now we get to lead off with Mandible Claw. I think our opponent drew kind of poorly. Spent a lot of turns at the beginning, not really doing much. Drew a lot of instants, played double sigil conductivity. I think I1 is pretty good, but the second one's not that great. That is not the best Cilio showing from our opponent, but our deck kind of did what it's supposed to do. I think we got a little bit lucky seeing the second Blood Rush Bellow so early. But you guys can see how much damage Kayo is able to put out, and this is kind of like the strength of Kayo, where our opponent is playing an arcane damage hero. We didn't submit any arcane barrier, and we're going to be able to kind of close the game out before that really matters. And so I'm going to be following up my attack with Reckless Stampede, and this is basically just going to seal the deal. So yeah, he has to block with at least 3 cards, so I get like 3 chances to try to win a clash. And I think he saw the writing on the wall, and that's that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're going to be uploading more strategy content, and please check out our Metafy. Check out the guide for Kayo. It has a lot more detailed strategy, and also, we're going to be uploading more guides, more videos for you all. So stay tuned and keep gaming.